Hello, it's 4 o'clock. I'm Alice Dale.
And I'm Savannah Holmes. This is your news for today.
A national campaign group has held a meeting in Nottingham discussing the possibility of changing the law for assisted dying. Sarah Hussain has more.
Dignity in Dying, a national campaign group who called for assisted dying to be made legal, held their first meeting in Nottingham. Those who attended discussed ways to promote the cause locally. Among the group were cancer patients who expressed their right to have a say in their own deaths. Tim Bell from Sherwood was recently diagnosed with stage 4 bowel cancer in 2013 and is fighting for the right to have control over how his life is taken.
Although I'm a long-time member, I've recently been diagnosed with cancer, and sooner or later, hopefully later, it's going to get me. I think the current law is a mess. It does not allow me the autonomy that I would like to have in the last few months of my life, whenever that is.
According to the campaign, assisted dying takes place behind closed doors already, and the law in place provides no safeguards to protect vulnerable people. More and more people are going abroad to end their lives, but for people like Tim, this isn't an option, as he wishes to end his life at home with his loved ones. Campaigners are trying to change the law in the UK to allow terminally ill people in their last 6 months of life the chance to decide their ending. Their efforts in the past were rejected, with the Right to Die bill being refused by MPs in 2015.
Around 82% of the public are in support of assisted dying, so the support is there and there is momentum building. But unfortunately our opponents, even though they are in the minority, they're very vocal. So some religious people, some disabled groups and some doctors are opposed, but those people aren't representative of everyone in those groups. We know there's a wide variety of views, and in our polling, for example, we know that the vast majority of disabled people and religious people do support assisted dying, so we're continuing to put pressure on those groups.
Although public support for the cause is high, the law on assisted dying has not changed and the voice of the opposition remains strong. Sarah Hussain for CBJ News.
This week, it's Eating Disorder Awareness Week. The national event aims to end the stigma surrounding the mental health condition. CBJ's Katie Taylor has more.
A shocking 1.6 million people in the UK are affected by an eating disorder. The mental health problem impacts all age groups, despite the common misconception that it starts during puberty. Eating Disorder Awareness Week, which runs until Sunday, aims to emphasise the importance of early diagnosis. The earlier help is sought, the higher the chance of recovery. This is why it is crucial to be able to spot the warning signs.
Sometimes, with any kind of mental health issue, you can sometimes spot things like the habits may change, that they might not be eating as frequent as they may used to be, or they're eating on their own a lot. They might hear them being sick in the night or after a meal. Their motivation levels may lower. They might isolate themselves a little bit more, and they may not be as talkative, and just kind of obvious changes, I think. And it's okay to say just little things like, "Are you okay? Is there anything I can help with?" And sometimes that might prompt to say, "Well, actually, I am struggling at the time."
But despite eating disorders being recognised as a serious mental health issue, there is still a stigma surrounding the condition. Beat, a charity that aims to tackle eating disorders, discovered that 2/3 of employees were unable to access support for their problems at work. Around 38% of those also use their annual leave to attend medical appointments to receive treatment. By providing information about the condition, this will help to tackle the stigma, as there will be a better understanding of the illness.
I think it's really important to raise awareness of any mental health disorder, especially eating disorders, because there's that stigma that is attached to this type of disorder, and a lot of people don't actually understand the disorder at all, really. A lot of people may say, well, if you just eat, everything will be okay, and that's not very helpful, and it's not that at all. It's much deeper than that.
If you're suffering with an eating disorder, it is vital that you seek help. There are a number of services in Nottingham that offer advice and treatment. These include Nottinghamshire Healthcare's Eating Disorders Service, First Steps Derbyshire and Freed Beaches. This is Katie Taylor reporting for CBJ News.
The Derby Unison and Teaching Assistants are calling for Council Leader Ranjit Banwait to sort out the ongoing pay dispute. Colton Smith has more.
Teaching assistants are holding a 24-hour vigil at the Derby City Council House to protest against their pay cut, which was implemented in June 2016. The 25% pay cut means teaching assistants are now losing £94 a week. Julia Redfern explains how the cut has impacted many lives.
We want some resolution to the whole problem because people just can't afford to live. It's not that we've had a pay rise, we don't want a pay rise, we just want some resolution to a bit of a, not so much of a loss of 25%. It meant that I lost, on June the 1st, I lost £6,000 a year, so it's a big, and when people are living on their own, it's a big change to their income. And it means that they can't afford the mortgages.
Some schools are still open, a lot of schools have had to close. We've done lots of things kind of since last June when this was implemented, both during strike days and outside of that to try and solve this. But at the minute, but this is where we're at now. I've no doubt they are. Yeah, it's not something that's taken lightly. Strike action, it's. For some of these people, it'll be the first time that they've done anything like this, but they've had a 25% pay cut, and up until now, the council haven't listened. So this is really the last kind of resort. They want to get back to work, but they need to be paid properly for it.
Starting from next week, the Derby Unison will be striking for a further 3 weeks if they fail to receive a decent offer from the council. This will now spark fury from the parents as their children will be missing out on vital education. Carlton Smith, CBJ News, Derby.
In other news, a pub in Nottingham is one of 10 finalists from across the UK to be nominated for a prestigious tourism award. The Visit England Award was created to celebrate the unsung heroes of the tourism industry. With the ceremony celebrating its 6th year, our very own Alice Dale went down to see why Nottingham has been recognised for the award.
Bars, pubs and restaurants fill the streets of Nottingham, creating many hotspots for tourists, which the Visit England Awards have certainly noticed.
It turns out, ye old trip to Jerusalem is just one of the 10 places across the UK that's been nominated for this prestigious award. It's said to be one of the oldest pubs in England. So why don't we go in and have a little look and see what history this place has to offer.
Visitors travel from far and wide to drink a pint at this historic venue. The second floor of the pub boasts a rock lounge and museum room, which are host to musical performances and notable artefacts, like this fertility chair, for instance, which when sat on has been said to increase the chance of pregnancy.
There's a network of caves beneath the building, which was originally used as a brewery. In fact, it dates back to the building's construction in 168 AD.
Although these caves now act as a cellar, Carl Gibson, who runs the pub, provides free tours to customers in addition to his landlord duties. Its medieval history has certainly not been forgotten, a factor Carl believes has stood out to the judges. It's clear to see the effort Carl puts in to preserve the pub's history is something he's excited to be recognised for.
A sense of pride, really, more than anything. That and to be actually recognised by the kind of wider community of the Tourist Board and Visit Nottingham. So, yes, it's just pride, really, more than anything. And a bit of surprise, because it's one thing to be nominated, and then it's another thing, a bigger achievement to kind of get in the final 10.
I know it's a famous place, famous pub.
This couple from France made sure the pub was included on their tour of Nottingham. Naeem Batty, who works with Nottingham Tours, explains why they keep a spot for the pub.
I would say, is one of the main attractions here in Nottingham. I've been a part of different tours when I started my university here, so we went there. And as we know, there are some mysterious stories associated with this pub, and definitely it fascinates tourists to go over there and find out and explore about how is it, what kind of things.
With the awards show taking place next Tuesday, it's only a matter of time to see if Carl's efforts have done enough to win him the title. Alice Dale, CBJ News.
Nottingham's independent fashion scene is on the rise as it's the fastest growing city in the UK for start-up fashion businesses. Our dress Christie has more.
Vintage clothing and the latest trends, consumers of Nottingham are turning their attention away from high street giants to small independent fashion shops and online retail. One of Nottingham's own fashion students believes that there are plenty of creative people to invest in the industry.
Well, we've got a lot of fashion students here because the Nottingham Trent University is in the top 5 universities for fashion. So on top of that, you've got a really big art scene here. So, you know, a lot of creative people that are going to put money into the fashion industry here. Obviously, there are a lot of independent businesses here that can, you know, that make it a competitor for London. But I think, you know, London will always be the front runner. I don't know we're necessarily too far behind it.
Nottingham's independent fashion scene is on the rise as the amount of independent fashion stores and pop-up boutiques has more than doubled in the past year. However, London pales in comparison as the capital only saw less than 50% increase in start-up fashion businesses. This comes to no surprise to Stick and Ribbon's founding director Sally Longdon, who says Nottingham has a strong fashion heritage.
I think Nottingham's got a great heritage in fashion. Back in the day, it was very much about independence, and there were a lot of little boutiques rather than the big high street stores. And I think just the way that Nottingham's set up, it's not all about a massive shopping centre. It's a bit more high streety than probably average city. I think that, you know, we've got Paul Smith and all of that going on here as well. So I think deep down we've got quite a lot of fashion roots.
Sally also believes with the growth of online retail that the high street giants will suffer more than the small independent shops.
But the more that the internet's there's going to still be people who want to feel the fabric, they want to see it, they want to try it before they buy it, and that's where we come in. I think maybe the big high street stores are going to suffer more than we will as a result of online trading.
From the East Midlands fashion capital, Jess Christie, CBJ News.
A local landmark, for all the wrong reasons, is finally being demolished. Posh Spice, a former restaurant on Goldsmith Street, was burnt down in a blaze 7 years ago. An eyesore to many, the derelict building has recently been bought by Nottingham Trent University. The plan is to convert the building into a study space for students.
It was really just a chance that we saw that it was up for sale again, because it had been up for sale several times, and that we were the lucky people to buy it. It's going to be turned into a 3-4 storey office development with possibly some exhibition sort of lounge space on the ground floor, which will be used by the support services for the university. That's the plans now, but we have no rigid stakeholders, so who knows who'll be in it in 18 months' time.
I spoke to reporter Joshua Hall earlier today to look more deeply into the renovation. So what was the initial reason for Nottingham Trent University wanting to buy this particular building?
Well, when Jill Marlowe, the project manager, spoke to me, it's never been a long-term interest in the university to do it. I think they just wanted to improve the way the university looked around the surrounding areas, and also because it will allow them to just give more extra space to the more students that are coming into the university.
How much is it looking like it's going to cost, and when's it going to be available?
It's estimated around £6 million, and it'll be available next autumn.
Oh, that's pretty soon. What do the Trent students think about it?
Well, I went out earlier and got their impressions.
I think it's a good idea because, I mean, we need more space. Everyone's always stuck in the library, and like when you want to go into the library and study, there's always like, oh, is there enough space for me?
I didn't really think anything was going to be happening to that building. It's been a bit of an eyesore ever since I came here. It's always kind of looked like that, but it's a lot of money to put into something like that. I mean, I hope it pays off for them at least.
I think it's a lot of money for kind of a broken building, but yeah, I can see that we need more study space. Everywhere's always busy, there's never any space to just sit down and get your laptop out or computers available.
Are there any concerns over the costs?
Well, Jill said to me that there's no rigid stakeholders, which is also can raise some alarm bells because you need investment when you've got £6 million investing into property. So hopefully there will become some stakeholders that will be able to uplift the money and invest into the property.
That's fantastic. Thank you for joining us, Josh.
Cool, thank you.
A week-long cultural extravaganza has come to an end at the Nottingham Trent University. The Global Week had its 5th year this time and continues to grow its scale in terms of student participation and attractions. Our reporter Arik Pandya has more.
Around the world are exhibiting grandeur and vividness in the Newton building of Nottingham Trent University. Cultural stalls, delicacies and craftswork are representing the student bodies from various countries in this annual celebration where NTU gets a chance to boast its intercultural diversity. Students have flocked into the fair area to experience the countries they haven't thought of visiting, trying the native dresses and learn the speciality about the various corners of the world.
It gives really wonderful opportunities for in the future when you might be travelling to other places for work. It's really important to have a good cultural awareness of other countries, and personally I really want to move abroad when I'm older and to work abroad, so this provides a really great opportunity to meet people from around the world.
The Global Week has become a tradition at NTU, like an annual function where the students and staff come together, demonstrating artifacts, handicrafts and subjects of cultural significance. The psychology involved here is to give its students a stage to perform.
Global Week, because during Global Week you meet very different people from different places and they teach you about different cultures and they show you food, of course. But it's really cool because they might show you the alphabet, they might teach you a few phrases, and you just see where those people have come from and what they've experienced so far, even though it's just like a slight portion of all they had. So, and I also have the opportunity to present my own country, so I'm really proud of that.
The whole idea of Global Week is to embrace the diversity of languages, cultures, as well as religions among the student population. There has been a big thought involved amongst the Global Week celebration, and also, of course, a big budget as well.
Well, we're very lucky that the university is really behind us, so they give us quite a nice budget for putting on Global Week. But we try to concentrate most of the resource on the student-led stalls. So we're all year talking with students from different countries, including the UK and Europe, and trying to get them involved to showcase their own countries and cultures. But sometimes if we don't have enough student-led stalls, we will work with external organizations.
With thousands of students participating, along with the staff member, coming from various religious and cultural backgrounds, the Global Week is a real taste to being in a melting pot of differences and oneness. Arat Pandya for CBJ News.
Most local football fans would be able to recognise the link between Nottingham and Italian football through Notts County and Juventus. But a new book is aiming to shine a light on the fact that AC Milan owe their existence to Notts-born Herbert Killick. CBJ's Josh Bragg has more.
The Lord of Milan and the Lord del Milan.
Football historian Robert Nieri presented his recently published book, The Lord of Milan, at Bromley House Library this week. The book is a fictional narrative backed up by the facts of Herbert Killick's life. Herbert Killick was one of 9 children born just up there on Mansfield Road and played youth and amateur football on the Forest Rec for St Andrews and Notts Olympic. Killick emigrated to Italy in 1891 after meeting a textile merchant while working at a lace house. He played amateur football in Turin before moving to Milan. He then founded the club we now know as AC Milan. After discovering how influential Killick was in shaping Italian football, Nottingham is paying respect to the pioneer in various ways across the city.
Well, what we're hoping is to try and help in a modest way the tourist offering that Nottingham has. We're trying to create a Herbert Killick trail, a heritage trail, which links all the places associated with him in Nottingham, to give something tangible to all the visitors from Italy who come to his birthplace almost as a pilgrimage. We're trying to create greater and closer links with AC Milan, the football club. Hopefully at some point somebody from the club will be able to officially present the Killick Cup that is played between primary schools to the kids who win the trophy. There's a heritage plaque going up. We already have a bus and a pub. Maybe there will be a Killick Land theme park at some point in the future.
And Nieri believes that Italian football owes a debt of gratitude to the city of Nottingham.
The 2 most famous clubs of Italy are connected in some way with Nottingham. So one was founded by a Nottingham lad, and the other owes its strip to Notts County, the oldest professional football club still around in the world. So whenever Milan play Juventus, there's that Nottingham link.
Fans of football and local history gathered at the event. Amongst the audience was Bromley House's former librarian, who resides in the north of Italy for most of the year. She attended the talk whilst on a visit back to her home city.
I think any links between footballers, particularly because it's a united sort of clan, isn't it, around the world, and I think it's just brilliant. He's obviously a fine enthusiast about the subject, and I don't think he's finished his researches yet, because everything seems to come out of the woodwork gradually.
Following 9 years of research by Nieri, the secret of Herbert Kilpin is finally being told. But it's not the end of the story. It seems that many more chapters are yet to be discovered. I'm Josh Bragg for CBJ News.
And now we're going to take a look at your sport with Colton Smith.
Notts County continue their charge up the table as they fight off relegation from League Two. The Magpies have gone 5 matches undefeated since the arrival of Kevin Nolan at Meadow Lane and look set for their trip to Stevenage tomorrow. On the other side of the Trent, Nottingham Forest have a decision to make on Marcus Felidis, a Greek international goalkeeper who has recently joined the club on trial, in a bid to turn around their poor form. However, with the Reds welcoming Premier League chasing Brighton home Albion to the City Ground tomorrow, Gary Brazil faces toughest test since taking the temporary charge of the Championship club.
And finally, here's your weather with Lucas Swain.
This evening will remain cloudy with showers increasing throughout the night, reaching maximum temperatures of 9 degrees. Saturday will be cloudy with outbreaks of rain and temperatures of 10 degrees. Sunday will be drier and brighter, but make sure you keep your jackets on because swift winds are expected.
That's all for now. You can follow our Twitter and Facebook page at CBJ News and keep up to date with the latest news on our webpage, cbjspotlight.co.uk. I'm Alice Dale.
And I'm Savannah Holmes. Thanks for watching.